picks. And Riku, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look what, just as Rafa said, they're aiming to close the game, and EVOS Esports not even changing their draft a little bit. They already know that this is one of their strongest formation. Valdez on the Lee Sin, early game aggression, Thipper on the Riven, very hard to basically lock down. Zion Rakan, 2v2 situation, pretty stable. And whatever will be the mid laner G4, again, could be Twisted Fate again, could still be the Orianna, which is incredibly strong, with the Rakan, with the Riven as that ball delivery system. And for Geek Fam, I don't think we're going to be seeing Teemo anymore. We're going to be seeing this single target focused composition. So picks are the key for Geek Fam on this game number 2.
Oh, there you predicted right. The Orianna
Yes.
for G4. Rafa,
Again,
what are your thoughts on this draft?
EVOS have not only, as Riku pointed out, early game aggression in this Lee Sin. Valdez can explode the bottom side of the map towards that dragon lane. You have one of the strongest duo lanes in existence for Wild Rift in this Zion Rakan. Even against something like Varus and Nami, who are obnoxiously, on an individual level, some of the best champions in its own right. However, combined against a lovers duo in Zion Rakan, it's just on another level when that exact champion combination is together. They're able to push you under your turret, and then if they are able to crash a huge enough wave, and they coordinate that when Valdez is crossing from his red side of the jungle towards the bottom side of the map, since they are going to be on the red side, it is going to be a dive combined with G4 more than likely if it can get the shove against the Ahri. I would expect to see that if EVOS really want to just hammer down fundamentals and get themselves ready to be in the best position for playoffs, they need to get these dives as clean as possible going into this last game.
Yeah, well, I believe, we have every faith, of course, in EVOS Esports. This is our final game of the group stages of the Wild Rift Sea Championships. Casters, you guys are up.
We're up and we're ready to jump into things, Omo. It's Geek Fan versus EVOS Esports, the last game of groups. No tiebreakers, not necessary here. And this is Geek Fan's game to win it, to prove it, and maybe, just maybe, help their friends out Flash Wolves steal third seed away from EVOS.
Indeed, and let's all just take a deep breath. It's been a long ride, it's been a long journey, but we've made it here to the end of the group stages. It's been a really long one for the players, for the casters, for the production team, and I'm hyped to see what our last game is going to shape like. I mean, it's looking like a, sorry, I'm tripping over my words. It's really been a long day. But
no worries. I mean, you've been having fun.
It's
you don't trip over your words when you're talking about Franklin Templeton with One Esports, so I'm good with that, Omo.
The only time I'm on the
job
ball
there.
is when I'm memeing. So it really goes.
You're memeing. You're absolutely serious at those moments. You don't even know what you're talking about anymore.
I take that back. I hope Franklin isn't watching this right now, but yeah, but we're seeing a much more orthodox draft from the side of Geek Fam, which means we might be in for a good game. Jokes Tipper's gonna solo kill him at level 2.
Wow, just putting on the pressure, making sure the Shang understands the stakes involved here. He's gonna have to go and grab the honey fruit early on. You can see the pressure already being applied coming through as, if that landed, barrier definitely expanded at least.
Barrier is expanded, so that's gonna be
not expanded.
Not
would
expanded.
have been expanded.
I'm just tripping over my words. I was drinking water at full compassion, so you got me there yet again caught in the act of drinking water. But yeah, look, he's going to be forced to recall, which means right now Tipper can do anything he wants with this wave. And do you remember the games we saw EVOS play against SBTC earlier today, Gibnism?
Yes, I do believe I do.
Pretty nasty games from SBTC, but also from Tipper. He was the only one really holding EVOS in the game. And this time around, if he gets a lead on this Riven, we know what he's capable of pulling off here.
Yeah, if he's able to get ahead and he's able to rotate around, I mean, it kind of alleviates so much pressure off of Valdez. He doesn't need to, the Lee Sin no longer has to be the huge playmaker. You can rely on the Riven to also kind of contribute to the fact. Aggressive moves coming in from 69. He's going to get the jump onto Thipper, and you have to electrocute, so that's a lot of harass coming through. That's going to put the Shang in a really good spot in lane.
Yeah, a lot of help here from 69. It was a smart start to the play from Tipper. He recognizes that I can't walk up to this wave. It's too far out right now. 69, he comes up, finds Tipper trying to do the crux to pass the time, and this is going to be a counterplay here. It's going to be a bit of an iffy one, though.
He was a little bit too early, but we'll see if this matters or not, because they do manage to find the first knockup, but Aqua Prison comes across, so it's going to be a trade kill. They're looking for a second on the Momo, timing out the barrier, a few more artifacts, but look at how much damage G4 is taking. Cassian is at the bot side as well. Flashes away from the chains of corruption. Momo looking for the return kill, takes the hit, and will find the kill. Veldis barely escapes. Haki will take him down.
Haki, he has no more charges to Spirit Rush, so that's just gonna be it for him. And that's gonna be some trade kills back and forth. EVOS, they get 2, but they lose 2 of their own. So it's a bit of a messy dive here from EVOS Esports. And I remember our analyst that's saying as well, we need to see EVOS prove that they can get some clean dives off. I'm surprised for one that they even managed to find a dive timing with Orianna, a champion notorious for not being able to leave the mid lane, being kind of like an immobile turret in the mid lane. But here we go, we're gonna look at the counter dive in top lane. We actually didn't even notice this. Just gonna get on top of Tipper, reset the turret aggro, hextag out, nade him with the barrier, with the flash. They get out of dodge. What is this? GEEK fam, they have a lead here, Gaminism.
Look at the form they're on. When they're playing for conventional picks, when they drop the Teemo, they're suddenly looking so much better, and they find this early game advantage. We're able to even dive Tipper here, and we were talking about how Tipper could become that big playmaker if they were to give him the space to really make things happen. And, well, frankly, it's just been looking so good for them. Now Nyx is going to walk in aggressive. He's going to make himself a tantalizing bait. He's going to put himself on a hook here, and EVOS Esports will see if they go and bite into it, because 69, he's just right around the corner in the brush, waiting for something to happen.
And this is the Dragon timer though, so it's good that we see 69 secure the push in for his Dragon lane. They get the push, they're gonna get the inside track on this Dragon right now. EVOS, they're just gonna be trading the Rift Herald. I think this is something they're gonna be very okay with here. And I do like that he brought up, you know what, it's finally time that we see them play around the Shang. We've always seen that the Shang was the carry for them regionally, locally. Yet on the regional stage, he hasn't been able to find so much. He's been relegated to tank duty more often than not. It's gonna be
close though. What, they're going to jump in with the Hextech ultimate and gets kicked away by the Dragon's Rage, but they're jumping on the Rage. Might be able to find a catch on the Ketan. Will barely miss out. In 69, he's here to try and maybe equalize, jumping on the G4, but it's difficult to flash forward. Looking to take out the Orianna. They finally get knocked out with the Aqua Prison as well. Valda's trying to jump back in, looking to take out the Kazik. The heal coming across, but it's barely not enough. This GEEK fam will rotate onto the turret instead.
Rift Herald goes to EVOS, but kills traded for GEEK fam, and that's going to be first turret of the game as well. They are keeping the gold lead. 1,000 gold up still.
Yeah, but EVOS Esports Tipper is in the side lane. Is going to be able to equalize things a little bit more here. Maybe even pull themselves up into a lead. But overall, GEEK fam is still, I mean, you have to take kind of mental note of the unspoken advantage, the non-gold specific advantage. You got the Clown Drake. You got the Clown Drake.
That is true. That's something. But I think for now, I think we'll be happier with gold. And honestly, if you look at Tipper, he's managed to find himself back into the game. He took the bot turret. That's going to be big. The solo plates, the solo gold. It's going to bump him quite a bit up.
Yeah, but that's only going to make him barely even up against the Shang, who has been, for all intents and purposes, been kind of had gold funneled into him. He's been having a pretty good laning phase for himself. He's also had that kill handed to him in the top side. And so, well, now I'm hoping to see that Shang is actually going to continue to match Tipper, and they're able to free up Haki, allow Haki to go to help the rest of his team.
Yeah, Haki's gonna try his best. Look at the spooky ghost come out from GEEK fam, taking a page out of the MBR playbook with this Varus comp, with this Siege comp, with this Poke comp. It's gonna be super effective here, because if you look at Tipper on this Riven, if you look at Valdez on this Lee Sin, what do they want to do? They want to find flanks. They want to find ways onto Momo. They want to get on the backline. And for that, they need to flank them. So the spooky ghost is gonna be so effective here. And we're seeing a bit of a race now, Gaminism.
Yeah, the trading sides, EVOS Esports, I mean, honestly, it looks like, yeah, EVOS Esports should have the advantage. The fact that they have the Rift Herald, unfortunately, they're only playing with 2, so is this going to be enough for EVOS as they continue to siege onto the second tier turret? You see the recalls come across. It's going to be Nyx making his way up, as well as +1. I believe that is going to be Haki. Yep, that's going to be the case. Spooky Ghost come across the Twin Shadows onto Veldis, but it's going to be a little bit difficult to convert that into a kill to get the kick across, but find a catch onto the Lee Sin, and this should be enough. A little bit more damage from Haki. They confirm that kill, but turrets dropping to EVOS Esports.
Oh, but Tipper takes out the Shang on the other side of the map. This is going to be turrets for EVOS. Like you said, they reclaim the gold lead. Veldis does drop, but so does the Shang. Staying a little bit too long there in the side lane means that Tipper will just pick him up. 1,000 gold lead for EVOS. Barely anything at this point in the game, but still, they've swung the gold right back around.
being able to finally come up with the golden advantage. I mean, we saw it for a small moment when Tipper got a turret. I mean, this just turrets have been the main source of income for EVOS Esports. You can see that they haven't really been looking to take the fight to them. The kills are relatively lower than what we've seen from them generally. But they've still been able to build a lot of gold by split pushing, by funneling it onto Tipper. And you can see it's paid off because he was able to take down the Shang.
Indeed, taking down the Shang is just the start here for Tipper though. We know what he can do in these team fights. We saw what he did to SBTC's Varus. I think that was Kirell's Varus as well. I feel like whatever he's going to do here to GEEK Fam is going to be just as nasty, if not worse. We really have to look out for Tipper. I can't emphasize this enough. One of the premier carry Baron laners now on his signature Riven again. It's not going to be easy.
And just one of the many signature champions he's had, honestly. We've seen him play and excel in so many different champion picks. That being said now, mid lane is looking at a little bit of aggression. GEEK Fam barely missed the chance to get the catch onto Rich, who's, I mean, just looking so intimidating. Watch him walk forward, no fear in the world. He's been so consistently able to find these pickoffs onto the primary targets of GEEK Fam. See if this is going to continue to be the case as they do get the lock jump onto 69. Baldus falls him across, but will get charmed out, will get hit by the bubble, loses some tempo, loses some space, but Tipper, he's jumping back in. The Hextech ultimatum will lock him in the cage. It's not going to be enough though. EVOS walk away scot-free.
As far as things go, this is not the end of the world for EVOS Esports. Not losing anyone.
Oh
boy, jinxed it.
Show a little bit of respect there. Recalling the face of Shang and Momo. I mean, come on, EVOS.
Man, this is just such a difficult situation to be in for EVOS Esports. You don't want to be behind. You've played such a long game. Here we go.
I mean, well, here we go. It's a one kill. Tipper's coming back. It's looking like Tipper the sequel as he's maybe able to take down Nyx. We saw the first one off in the side lane with the Ignite. Takes down the Nami.
Takes down the Nami, and that's just gonna be him getting out of dodge there. 69, pretty cheeky, comes down to the Dragon lane, pushes that out a bit. Ketsutam wants to stay here. He wants to get some damage on the turret, but we see the power of Varus just nukes out the wave. And honestly, it's not the greatest situation for EVOS Esports to be in. I was trying to make this point earlier, right? But the fight started. This team, we talk about how they actually need this win. They need to secure the third seed. I'm sure Flash Wolves, they're watching this one with bated breath right now.
Yeah.
It's been a long day for EVOS. They need to really get a win here, but it's not off to a great start. I have faith in their late game decision making, in their macro, but it's not a spot you want to be in.
Absolutely. Well, you don't really want to have to rely on this late game macro game when, for all intents and purposes, you should be looking to try and close out with a statement game up against GEEK Fam, who have been able to put up a fight in the second one, consistently holding on, and you can now start to see as well 4 Twin Shadows enchantments available for the GEEK Fam, who have been able to use this to quite a good degree, spotting out exactly where EVOS Esports are, and it seems to be paying off well for them. The issue seemed to have been a lack of vision and information. Well, this Twin Shadow enchantment is kind of making up for it, but takes away a little bit of that power from the fighting side, so the Shang's gonna face off against Tipper, who's gonna get caught in the Hextech ultimatum, but here we go, Rich joins into the fight, making it an unfair one as they take down the top side half of GEEK Fam.
They do indeed, and this is going to be 2 quick kills for EVOS. Quicker on the rotation, that's going to be the name of the game here. That's how SBTC beat them earlier today, and that's how they're beating GEEK Fam here in the last match of the group stages. G4, he's going to be scaling up, right? That's something we didn't quite touch on, but since he's on this Orianna, he's not going to be the typical early game powerhouse we see him on when he's on champions like Ahri, Twisted Fate. He's not going to be making plays on the map, but he's going to be steadily, consistently farming his way up, and you know when we get to the mid to late game team fights, he is going to be crucial.
Well, collapse coming in from EVOS Esports, who might be trying to jump on the Haki, but seems a little bit too far away. They're going to back off, but the Baron is up now, so that's a potential objective for them to try and work towards. And if EVOS Esports are able to get this, then they might be able to work against some of the waves. There's a lot of wave clear on the side of GEEK Fam between the Varus and between the Ahri. It's quite difficult. But I think with the Baron, it should make things easier for the EVOS Esports side.
Yeah, and look at this right now. This is truly the MBR playbook. 4 Twin Shadows for the side of GEEK Fam. They're just going to make sure that they know where EVOS Esports are at all times. And I can't emphasize how important this is. They need to make sure Tipper is not going to one-shot their backline. This guy's nearly on 3 items, and I think he can take this 1v2.
Here we go. This is round 2, trying to jump back on Tipper once again. He's going to get isolated pretty soon. I mean, the minion's not going to do much for him. He's going to get taken down, and 69 finds the pickup there. Oh, actually going to go to the Shang.
Oh, this is going to be a big risk, though, because of those Twin Shadows. They see the camp.
Yep, so they have to back away from the Baron. It's going to be a bit too risky to try and force this now. Twin Shadows, the first, the second. I mean, it just seems like an entire family of spooky ghosts. Looking at the 7-month Ghost Festival here. I'm not even sure if half of the audience
I don't
want to
talk about that. Let's move on. I don't want to, you know, put any caster curse on anyone.
Oh boy, I mean, I can't
not
avoid
something I
that,
want to
right?
be thinking about.
I can't avoid that. I'm already knee deep in it.
It was nice knowing you. I'm looking forward to casting with my next co-caster, Infinity.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you very much for your service, Gimminism.
You're very welcome. Well, EVOS Esports now, they're maybe looking to try and grab this dragon. GEEK fam have collected the first 2 in this second game, and so third one could be nice for EVOS to have. It could open up the option of the Inferno Elder Drake as a possible win condition. Either way, should be quite impactful. But GEEK fam, you know, they've really been able to make good use of this bottom side pressure, and third dragon, if they get the 4th Elder Inferno, it could very well be a game for them to win.
It's doable for sure. I wouldn't say it's an impossible scenario. It's just that I trust in EVOS's mid to late game macro. This dragon is gone, but it looks like they want to fight.
Here we go. They're looking to try and force the issue. They jump in, but Rich is going to go down first. The shockwave comes across, gets a catch on the 2. Dragon's Rage not going to be able to execute the rest. Haki going down low. The Ignite will take him down eventually, and it's Cat Satan that finds it. GEEK fam will sneak away the dragon though.
Yeah, and I just said I trust in their mid to late game decision making. Right away, they want to prove me wrong. They dive in unnecessarily, way too fast of a team fight. No one could follow up on that play, and that's gonna be GEEK fam taking, or rather trading a kill and taking the dragons.
They're gonna move onto the mid turret as well. You see Velda's quite nearby. It's a little bit too ambitious to try and get a play in mid lane, so just gonna kick it back, sit back, relax. Maybe reset in this time before things gonna happen again.
Yeah, just gonna go for a quick reset, but I want to point out the items and I want to point out the scaling difference. GEEK fam, this is their strongest point in the game. They really need to emphasize that they need to, you know, hold down the throttle. They need to make sure that EVOS cannot keep scaling up for free. They need to start threatening either split pushes, objectives. They might not have an ADC marksman here, but they have a Kha'Zix who is great at doing Baron. With these spooky ghosts, they can start it off, they can look the turns, they can spot out EVOS, but they really need to be doing something. Because if EVOS keeps scaling, 3 items on Xayah, 3.5 on Riven, 2.5 on Orianna, it's gonna get problematic.
I see where you're coming from, Omo, and I have to say, I mean, at least with GEEK fam right now, they've been able to get some decent pressure on the side lanes. You can see that apart from that initial trade to the up on the Baron lane and the Dragon lane, EVOS Esports have been at a deadlock. They haven't been able to find a turret otherwise, and so, you know, they still have a small window to make a couple of mistakes. It's not a huge buffer, but at the very least, GEEK fam can afford to make a mistake or two and still be able to hold on to this game. So looking to maybe play around that, they're trying to see if they can go for something like the Baron in this time, or just wait for the Elder Inferno, because that seems like a huge pickup for the GEEK fam.
It is. It's gonna be a huge pickup for them for sure. I agree. They don't necessarily have to flip the game on a Baron.
Shang and Tipper are fighting for this one, but it's Tipper part 3 is the biggest sequel. This is the blockbuster. Unfortunately, won't be able to find it there. The Shang's gonna come in now. Jumps onto Valdez, tries to trade back, tries to maybe equalize. Well, he's still holding on for dear life. The Dragon's Rage don't kick him back to the mid lane. He survives through it all.
He gets away with his life, and this is gonna be Tipper. Even though he doesn't get the kill onto the Shang, he burns everything and he gets the turret. Keep in mind, Shang was forced to use his flash as well. Tipper has zone, so that's gonna be big in their next face-off. This threat from EVOS is mounting. GEEK fam, there is a timer building. You can wait for the Elder Dragon, but will you still be strong enough to take a team fight?
Well, absolutely. We're starting to see some of those issues arise now, and the fact that Valdez was down to the bottom side earlier was there in time to apply some pressure there as well. I mean, that just is well, icing on the cake for EVOS Esports. Not only were they able to win the 1v1 mechanical fight, they were able to macro rotate in time to assist that should it go awry for them. GEEK fam maybe trying to slow things down as I say that they find a catch back on the 69 who's likely going to go down. The Guardian Angel will come across and the Corrupting Chains won't be able to connect, so it won't buy them much time over the back. We see the Shang trying to jump into the back, maybe build some chaos, maybe pull the attention away from EVOS, but he won't be able to buy enough time. The rest of his team is falling as Tipper has come online, and he's so damn massive.
And just like that, it's the Tipper show. We know what happens when he gets Riven, and he proves it to us once again. Such a clean combo. Flash, Wind Slash, and then using his Q spells to get on top of Geek Fan. And all of that started with one little mistake. Geek Fan, 69, he got caught out. He made a mistake. He ventured too deep into EVOS's jungle, and EVOS, they sent him a message. They took him down. They aced his team. Baron, Elder, EVOS won everything. Now let's take a look at this, right? 69 gets caught, but keep your eyes on Tipper. This is a great start to the fight here from Rich. He even comes back to charm up the Shank. But look at Tipper. He saves his Wind Slash. 1, 2, Flash, second and third, and that's it. And he's gonna clean up the members of Geek Fam. You know, I'm trying to find a better way to cast the Riven combos. I don't really know how it goes, but it's gonna be difficult for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Broken Blade 1, Broken Blade 2. I mean, how do you even go
1, 2,
about
3?
that?
I don't know. We're just counting.
It's like, we're counting. We're back to the masterclass, Omo. It's a masterclass 1, 2, 3. EVOS Esports
right.
They don't want to count the 4. They don't want to count the 4 dragons. So they grab the one, the only important one, the Elder Inferno. EVOS Esports, while we were off in that terrain talking about what happened back by the Baron Pit, they've already moved on. Grabbed this also important, critical Elder Inferno, and now putting on the pressure, laying on the heat. Geek Fam need to find some way to respond.
Geek Fam do indeed need to find some way to respond, and I can tell you it's not going to be easy. They don't win out in the battle of scaling. Now they've lost Inferno, so they no longer have that win condition. They've lost the Baron, so EVOS have that win condition. Just some love taps from the 2 junglers.
Okay.
I do want to point out the Shank did get the turret there, but there's no way he can fight Tipper ever again.
Look at these angles though, Omo. I'm not sure what EVOS are trying to go for. Where's Rich trying to come in from?
They're looking cheeky right now. They're trying to find some angles. They find one on the Shank. Oh,
They are, and the Dragon's Rage was expanded early.
Opposite.
He dodged it. Wow,
I actually didn't even
insane.
know you could buffer it. I thought it wouldn't go on cooldown, but the Shank, he knows better than me. He gets out of that situation easy peasy.
Shows us how to play it out, but 69 is going to be by the side though. Valdez coming in as well. Tipper is now joining in. It's the Raid bosses that find EVOS Esports. Collected the first in the mid lane, then looking to take down a second. It's going to be the Kha'Zix. Target the focus. Put your eyes on the Shang. He's going to go down. It's a current call. Call at the time of death. Geek Fan won't be able to respond. EVOS Esports charging into the base and taking down the Camille. And EVOS Esports will secure themselves the 3rd seed if they manage to take down Geek Fan, who are holding on to the Nexus. But the minion wave being cleared. Rich tries to jump in. Hockey still alive, but you have to show him some respect. Velders almost takes down G4, but it's the flash from the Orianna that gets him to safety. But the return from Tipper takes down Nyx. And moving on to Hockey's auto attack, it's Q1, Q2, Q3 for that double kill.
And the game courtesy of Tipper. This man, he gets my vote for MVP just off that play. Really good stuff there from Tipper. His Riven is proving to be a force to be reckoned with, and I think that's something you are gonna want to ban if you're facing EVOS in the playoffs.